Hi, I'm Susan Keefe from Rhubarb and Cod, and today I'm making braised tofu fresh rolls. Fresh rolls are essentially bundles of noodles, veg, and protein bound together by a sheet of rice paper. In terms of fillings, the sky really is the limit. Cabbage, cucumbers, even leftover chicken. Anything you have kicking around the fridge can find a home here. I went the extra mile and braised some extra firm tofu in a Vietnamese caramel sauce for these rolls, but you could easily make this a no-cook recipe by using leftovers or packing the rolls with vegetables. So take a quick inventory of your fridge and let's get started. I'm gonna get started by making the Vietnamese caramel. When you're making caramel of any kind, it pays to have all your ingredients measured and ready to go before you turn on the burner. Start by mincing 2 cloves of Start by mincing 2 cloves of garlic. Then halve and slice 2 shallots. Mince 1 knob of ginger and slice 1 brick of extra firm tofu into 1/2-inch slices. When all the chopping is done, it's time to make your caramel sauce. This sauce starts as any dry method caramel would, with a skillet and some granulated sugar. Pour 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar into a skillet and place over medium heat. Cook until the sugar dissolves and becomes liquid, shaking the pan occasionally. Swirl the pan frequently as you continue to cook the sugar until it reaches a deep amber color. Once the sugar reaches the desired shade, immediately pour in 1/2 cup of hot water. The mixture will bubble violently, but it should subside quickly. Stir the caramel gently, encouraging any sugar that may have seized to melt back into the mixture. Pour in 3 tablespoons of fish sauce, or if you're vegetarian, soy sauce. Add your shallots, ginger, and garlic. Add the sliced tofu to the pan in a single layer. You may have to work in batches depending on the size of your pan. Gently braise the tofu over medium-low heat until completely saturated in the sauce, about 3 to 5 minutes aside. If you notice the pan is looking a little dry, feel free to add a few tablespoons of water. Vietnamese caramel is so strong in flavor that it won't suffer much from a little dilution. Transfer the finished tofu to a plate and pour the remaining sauce, shallots, ginger, and garlic over top. Set aside. You don't have to worry about keeping the tofu warm. This tofu tastes good at any temperature. I actually prefer it at room temperature in these rolls. While the tofu is hanging out, you can start prepping your other fillings. I like to start by softening my rice noodles. Rice noodles come in various widths and dimensions, and you can use whichever noodles you prefer. And you don't have to stay loyal to rice noodles. I've made fresh rolls with leftover soba sesame noodles, and they were delicious. But most of the time, when it comes to fresh rolls, I prefer rice vermicelli. Place 150 grams of dried rice vermicelli in a bowl. Cover the noodles with a kettle's worth of boiling water and let sit for 5 minutes. While the noodles are soaking, prep the remaining filling. I used 1 Asian pear, 3 small carrots, 3 scallions, fresh mint, and 3/4 cup of coarsely chopped peanuts. The fillings you choose and how you choose to chop them are of course up to you, but I prefer to leave my herbs whole or very coarsely chopped, and my fruits and veggies cut into batons or julienne. When assembling the rolls, I find the vegetables are more cooperative when they're cut this way. Now it's time to build your rolls. Fill a wide, shallow vessel, such as a pie plate, with lukewarm water. Dip rice paper sheets in the water until thoroughly saturated but still rigid. Transfer it to a wooden cutting board and press to lay flat. Cut one of the tofu slices in half lengthwise and place both halves end to end in the center of the rice paper sheet. Next, add a few pieces of the Asian pear, a small handful of the carrot, and a piece of the dark green section of a scallion. Place a bundle of noodles on top and sprinkle with finely chopped scallions and coarsely chopped peanuts. Finish with mint leaves. Take the end closest to you of the rice paper sheet and fold it over the filling. Tuck both sides of the rice paper sheet in towards the center and continue rolling the roll away from you to form a seal. Transfer the roll to a plate and repeat with the remaining fillings. When the rolls are completed, all that remains is the dipping sauce. Place 1 tablespoon of sambal olak in a small bowl. Add 2 teaspoons of turbinado sugar, the juice of 1 lime, and 2 teaspoons of fish or soy sauce. Whisk to combine. And that's it, braised tofu fresh rolls with a nuoc cham-esque dipping sauce. I hope you all enjoy this one, and if you do give it a go, let me know how it went in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for cooking with me. I'll see you next time.